If you want to make easy gold before the March New World patch, well, I've got some tips right here for you right now. The first tip is to spend your faction tokens right now. So what you want to be doing is basically using your faction tokens to get as much gold as possible right now. So that includes things like runes of holding, asmodeum chisels, chunks of consecrated iron, even getting the dungeon orbs and running expeditions. And the reason for that is in this new patch, we are going to be getting a 5 times increase of your faction tokens. That means the value of faction tokens is pretty much going to be devalued because it's going to be very easy to get approximately like 15,000 in a day. Now you will only be able to get that 5 times bonus for your first 3 missions of the day, so you only want to do 3 missions in a day, you don't want to go beyond that. But yeah, I believe you should spend your tokens now, try and make as much gold as you can right now, because in the future the token value is going to be less. The next tip is to buy some blunderbuss materials. Now as you're all probably aware that the March patch is going to be introducing the new weapon Blunderbuss, and as it is a ranged weapon, you might want to start preparing the materials for that, either to use for yourself or to sell. Now the obvious materials here would be asmodeum and glittering ebony, as I believe it's very likely and very possible that the prices of those will spike on the release of the patch or maybe even the day after. Another option is the legendary materials that are used in the creation of the named items that you can craft. Now the one that I'm specifically thinking of here is the intricate firearm lock. Now before the March reveal, this was actually about 50 gold on my server, but the price has since spiked to like 450 gold, and I don't think it's worth spending that much for it. But what I recommend that you do is that you check your server and see how much the price is, and then consider it's probably going to go up. On my server, somebody's bought all the cheap ones, and they may actually just sell them all when the patch goes live, and it might not actually go up in value because people are already aware of this. And along the same lines as the materials, one thing that might be worth picking up again, either to buy or use, is the Orichalcum casings, the bullets basically, or cartridges. I'm not 100% sure what they're called actually off the top of my head, because whilst in the next patch, yeah sure, the iron ones are going to be infinite shot, a lot of people are still going to want the Orichalcum ones because of the increased damage. That's not going away, and I strongly suspect because there's going to be an influx of strength users who are wanting to do range damage that the price might spike. So either buy them now and sell them then, or buy them now so you don't have to buy them then. Now this tip here won't really make you gold, but I also suggest that you don't do quests in Ebonscale right now, because like the February patch with Shattered Mountain and Reetwater, Ebonscale is going to get the addition of quests that give you the gypsum orbs. Now the first quest that I tried on the PTR didn't actually give me the orb, but I'm pretty sure like it probably is worth not doing your quests if you plan on doing them and you want the gypsum orbs. Technically that will save you a bit of money because then you don't have to buy them in the faction vendor because you're getting a free orb, but you know what I mean, not really a gold saving tip. The next tip is to simply do not abandon your house and then buy another one if that's what you're planning on doing, because quite frankly if you do that now you're going to just lose all of your gold, whereas in the new patch you're going to get half of your gold back. So let's say you paid 20,000 for a house, or even like 10,000 with the discount, you abandon that house and then you'll either get 10,000 if you paid 20 or you'll get 5,000 if you paid 10, and then you can go ahead and buy the new property wherever you like. But yeah, don't abandon them right now, it would just be throwing away gold. Now this one's a little bit controversial, but it is something that I have done. I recommend right now it might be worth selling your storage chests and maybe just replacing them with the cheapest ones, which are the hemp hewn log or whatever it's called. And personally I've sold some of my hope storage chests and I got maybe like 3k from having 2 of them, and the reason for this is that the storage is essentially completely changing in a big way, but it's not immediately noticeable. What you're going to be able to do is be in one town and then literally select any other outpost, put stuff in there for free, and also withdraw for free. Your storage is effectively going to be worldwide or map wide. The only thing that you're going to need is in one town where you do your crafting, you're going to want a bit of extra storage so that you can put your materials in there and safely craft without worrying about it. But for me, if you're happy enough with the awkwardness of maybe just moving stuff from one settlement to another without actually traveling there, then selling your expensive storage chests might be a good idea right now, because I think they're going to devalue. Combine that with the fact that the faction tokens are easy to get, which means that the value of the runes and stuff like that pretty much going to be like just a price that you have to pay in the faction store. One little extra thing is anything like related to the corruption dungeon. Obviously we're getting the Tempest Heart new dungeon, which I actually find pretty damn enjoyable, but it's quite difficult, so people might actually just want coatings and stuff like that just for the normal version, and especially when we get the mutated version, that means we're going to have 2 corrupted high-end mutators. So therefore I think the value of corruption stuff is going to go up a little bit. Now, one that is essentially becoming a meme on this channel at the moment is the vials of suspended Azoth. In one patch I said buy, and then in the next patch I said sell, and I think we might be getting to the point where it might be worth buying again. Right now the value of them is plunging and there's no real end in sight because there's not really much point to having them right now, so the price is going to go quite low. However, I think at some point those vials are going to become useful again. I just don't know how or why or when. So this is really all about buying at the optimal low time rather than like guaranteed profit, if that makes sense. Do be careful. Everything I said in here is subject to change. Anything I said in here, you might not make gold on it. Not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Now, I'm personally expecting this patch to come out approximately on March 29th. It might be a week before then. It might be a couple of days after then. It's really hard to say. But yeah, pretty much everything in this list I'm personally doing, and I actually think it's a good idea. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing it. Hopefully it proves true. Let me know if you have any ideas how to make gold in the comments, or you can always DM me if it's a super secretive method of doing it, and I won't tell anybody. I'll just make the gold myself. Yeah, but let me know in the comments otherwise. Have a most beautiful day. Like and subscribe. Come follow me on Twitch. Goodbye.